It's Thursday night, and it's time to unwrap Las Vegas right here on VANR. That's VegasAllNetRadio.com, which means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash.
And a good, pleasant April 2nd, 2015 to everybody out there in Vegas All-Net Radio land. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio, coming to you live from the studios of Vegas All-Net Radio in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Mid to upper 70s today, almost 80 degrees. It is pre-holiday weekend with Passover and Easter. It is pre-Final Four weekend coming up. Pre-baseball season next week. Mr. Cash, is there any more pre's I could throw in there? Nope. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next. No.
Boy, the show is already
I'm telling you, by the time you get all the pre-stuff done, you never know where you're at. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight, taking us with you, whether you're on your laptop, computer, iPad, you're on your phone, listening to us on the downloadable app that you can get through your Play Store. We appreciate you making us part of your Thursday night. And as always, the rest of the crew is here. Mr. JPEG behind the camera, doing his thing. And, of course, the Bobcat on the board. Now, before we begin going through our regular stuff, Mr. Cash.
I know.
I believe Bobcat has somebody on the phone here. So, caller, welcome to Vegas Unwrapped. What can we do for you?
This is Junior Bobcat.
Who's it? Who's this?
This is the Junior Bobcat.
Junior Bobcat. Bobcat Jr.
I didn't know there was a Bobcat.
I didn't know there was a Bobcat Jr. either.
Well, now you're all amazed that there is. This is my lovely daughter, Chelsea Abigail Fox, right here.
Oh, hi, Chelsea.
Hi, everybody.
How are you, Chelsea?
Pretty good.
Where are you calling from?
Williamson, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Wow.
Take Me Home, Country Road, West Virginia.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. So this is the first caller we've ever had from West Virginia.
Add another state.
Add another state to the bulletin board. So, well, this is good. Why haven't you called in before, Chelsea?
Because me and Bobcat just got reunited.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, so we're going to have to learn a little bit more of this.
There's a very big story. There's a very big story about to be unleashed here.
Uh-oh.
And Chelsea will be here live in Las Vegas in just about 2 weeks.
Really?
Yes.
We'll definitely have to have her on
no question about
the
it.
show. We'll have to get all the dirt. Can we save the scoop for Vegas Unwrapped?
Sure.
All right, there you go.
While you're doing that, let me pull this over here while you guys go on and continue on what you're doing.
So Chelsea, what do you do back there in West Virginia? What keeps you busy?
I am a bartender.
Oh, really? At a local bar or a big name place?
It's a local bar.
Okay. What's the town in West Virginia you're in?
Mingo County.
Okay.
Where is that near? Not like we know it.
Well, I know Morgantown.
I know Morgantown also. And Wheeling.
It's close to Pattville, Kentucky.
Oh, so you're down on the southern part of the state there. Right?
Yeah.
Kentucky?
That's it.
Southern part?
Southwest.
Wow. And so you're coming out in 2 weeks for a visit, huh?
No, I'm coming out to stay.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. We'll have to get her drunk when she comes out. You are over 21, right?
Yes, I'm 30.
Oh, really? Bobcat, you have a daughter who's 30?
I have a daughter that's 30 years old.
Wow. Are you married?
No.
Wanna be?
I have two children.
Want to be my
ready for
fourth
this?
wife?
How many children you have?
I have two. My daughter will be 13 on the 7th of this month, and my son will be 11 in August.
Wow.
That is so good.
That is great.
So you know what that must mean, you know?
You're a grandfather.
Bobcat's your grandfather.
And he's not that much older than me.
Well, that goes to show you might just be right around the corner.
Not if my girls know it's good for them. Not if they want to graduate college in a couple of weeks.
There you go.
This is a very heartwarming story that I think that once you get here that you all We'll just simply love, all right?
We'll save the story for when you come out here, and we'll have a chance to meet you in person, and we'll share the story on the subsequent Vegas Unwrapped episode that you come out here for.
Okay, that sounds good.
So you're going to be listening tonight to the show a little bit?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't get the app to download, so.
All right, so we'll get you on. You'll have to listen to it on podcast.
Or YouTube.
Okay.
Or YouTube,
right?
Or YouTube, because we do video the show as well. We do video record the show.
Wait a minute. If she does it on YouTube
Right.
and sees what we look like,
Well, I was going to say,
she may not want to come on the show.
I was going to take it a step further. Have you seen what Bobcat looks like? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
That's really good.
I'm only kidding.
You should.
Eat Dad! Yes! Dad!
You should have seen him when he had to cut all his hair off last summer.
That's right. We love Bobcat. He's an integral part of our show and our team here, and we've been very blessed to have him as our board op. So we can't wait to meet you, and as they say, to learn the rest of the story.
Wow, that was prophetic.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Did you say pathetic?
No, I said no.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Prosthetic.
Prosthetic
I
is
didn't
what he
say-
said.
I didn't say that either.
His teeth is not in, so
What's
it's hard
the
to
matter
tell
with
what
these
he's saying.
Put your teeth
I got
in.
it. I got to get a new bridge.
Honey, usually
The dog ate it.
It's too far.
Honey, usually the down part of the show happens during the second hour, okay? We usually try to stay pretty clean the first hour, and we usually degrace down the second. But I
Yes,
can see
we're
it's all
starting early
disgusting.
tonight. So, well, listen, Chelsea, thank you for calling in. Great to meet you over the phone, and again, we look forward to meeting you.
And I love you, Dad.
I love you, honey. I'll talk to you when I get off work tonight, okay?
I got the goosebumps.
All right, sweetie.
I got the goosebumps.
Oh my!
Bye-bye.
Oh my!
Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to hear the story.
I haven't seen Bobcat smile so much.
I know, not since our story about the camel jockeys. What's that? I'm trying to be politically correct with guests in the studio.
I am going to officially name her
Yes?
Bobby Kitty.
Ooh, that's good.
Kitty.
She gets her own name now.
Yeah.
It's not all bad what you think, okay?
No, we don't think anything.
No, but reunited-wise and for the rest of the story.
There you go.
So
I
it's,
just hope she's not going to come in on the 16th because we're going to be on a remote site on the 16th. So, but she's coming in to live here, so
Oh,
we
sure
can do
we'll
it.
have her.
when we get to the
whenever.
break, I'll pull a picture up for you.
Okay.
All righty. Sounds great.
Does she look more like Diane, or she got your?
Well, this is my first wife.
Oh.
This is through my first wife.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were married before. Jeez, this is getting to be a pretty dirty show here, Mister.
No, let me
We're getting
say-
the dirt out. We've only been working with this guy for 2 years, and now we're finally getting the dirt.
Diane number 2 or is she number 3?
No, Diane's two.
Okay.
She was
He's still
number two.
behind you, Cash. Don't worry about it. He's still behind you.
I got you.
Shoot, she kept worrying, and my Uncle Bill went 9 times.
Now there's my hero. What did you trade in everyone for a new
I don't know
model?
what he did, but
That's Mickey Rooney-esque, for crying out loud.
let's just put it this way. When the inheritance came out, there wasn't too much for the rest of us on the side of the family. I can tell you.
Son of a gun.
Crazy
Awesome
stuff.
I
stuff.
can't believe, I don't know how many Aunt Annas I had in my lifetime.
That's a great line right there, Bobcat. That's a great line. Well, thank you for listening to Vegas Unwrapped. We're off to a fly. I'm anxious now. This is a great way to start. I love it.
Tremendous.
Who's calling now? Who's calling now on the Vegas Unwrapped hotline? Who's this, please?
It's Mrs. Bobcat.
Mrs. Bobcat.
What is this? Is this on pit road racing? What's going on here?
This is family reunion. I'm waiting for Ralph Edwards to walk through the door. This is your life. How are you, Mrs. Bobcat?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're doing very well. As you probably heard, we just met Chelsea over the phone, and yeah, good stuff. So what's your thought on all of this?
Did she know about this before tonight?
I started it.
She started it. There you go. You start. Good for you. Good for you. All right.
I did.
Well, that means Mrs. Bobcat's going to have to come on the same show that we talk about all
yeah.
of this.
We could have all
yeah.
the Bobcats at one
We can
time.
have the whole litter right here in the studio.
The whole litter. That's great. That's really great. I'll bring the box.
You'll bring the box. Oh my goodness gracious! So well, that's good. So again, I don't want to blow the story, but you were the instigator behind finding Chelsea and getting them back together and all of that.
Yes, I was.
Well, that's great. That's good stuff. I mean, holiday season, finding another wing of the family. I mean, that's really cool.
I've always
Yeah.
said special people do special things.
Yeah, that's just the kind of person she is.
Well,
That's right.
We know that.
That's right. Well, we know that. So, well, good job.
Thank you guys very much.
So, how's it going?
I'm looking forward to meeting
You guys call her Chelsea. I call her Abby because
That's her middle name from what I test, right?
yeah, she does. She told me today that she doesn't like the name Chelsea, so I call her Abby.
Well, that's okay. JPEG, we've already got a new nickname for her, Bobby Kitty.
Bobby Kitty.
Yeah, we'll call her Bobby Kitty.
Unbelievable.
Bobby Kitty. That's funny.
Unbelievable.
Leave it to you guys.
Hey, it was either Bobby Kitty or Abby Cat.
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
Alley Cat. Alley Cat.
Abby Cat. Abby Cat would be cool.
Oh, you guys are nuts.
She's going to have a business
They are.
card about this big with a nickname on it, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Holy
So,
shnikes.
Diane, what are you doing with yourself these days?
What am I doing with
Yeah.
myself these days?
Yeah.
I'm doing my social media, my blogging, and just being Mrs. Bobcat.
That's tremendous.
And hosting, of course, the ladies of On Pit Road Racing.
Yes, hosting, yes. The ladies of On Pit Road Racing.
That's a very successful show here in
we have
VANR.
Yes, we have a new member. Sandy Castell just joined us, and it's been very, very interesting. Very the energy in the studio is just will just blow you away.
I can imagine.
Wow, so the walls came down.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We sort of took a little heat on this situation with Sandy, right?
Yeah, you sure did.
Okay, but the whole dig of it is that Sandy Castell has got 18 years of racing and drag racing experience, and the lady knows her stuff. So for all you wannabes out there, she knows her stuff.
Yep.
There you
And
go.
I'm going to tell you something. She is funny. I'm telling you.
And when does the show air?
She fits with me and Janie very well.
The show airs 4 to 5 every Saturday right here in Vegas on that radio.
There you go.
Son of a gun.
sure
That's
to tune in.
amazing.
All right, you guys have a wonderful show. I will be listening, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Bobcat.
You have no idea. All righty. Wow, that's 10 minutes into our opening segment.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I'm really amazed.
That's great. That's great. All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. The crew is here, and then some. Speaking of crew, we should have pulled up the Love Boat theme song. That would have been appropriate for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see if you can find it. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour break. We'll do the Love Boat.
That's good. Why don't we let the audience know what we're going to do?
Well, they'll forget in 10 minutes. We'll play the song, and
Play the Battlestar Galactica theme.
Well, when he comes
better.
on, so we'll get it all pulled up. All right, joining us at the microphone now is the event coordinator for the Comic-Con at Sea event coming up in June, Ms. Pat Stissi. How are you, Pat?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Given that first
for having
segment,
us.
she hasn't run out of the studio scared after what we did that first segment. And her right-hand person and friend, Miss Isabel. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine.
Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped, ladies. How you doing?
Thank you.
All right, so Pat.
They're French.
Yes, they are.
I
Oui,
bel-
oui.
I
You
believe-
want to speak a little French to our listeners out there?
No, don't.
Bonsoir.
Why not?
Then
That's
John,
like kryptonite.
I was going to say, then John can listen to this in the dark. But anyway, we do have listeners in Montreal. I will tell you that much. So,
Yes, and we have a beautiful voice. So
yeah, I know you do. I remember the first time you came on, you were nervous about that, but I told you a woman with an accent will melt anybody away, right? Am I right, guys?
No
Seriously.
question about it.
So you guys are good. All right, June 14th, right? That's the date?
yes, it is.
June 14th to the 21st is an event you're putting together called Comic-Con at Sea 2015. June 14th through the 21st. You got a slew of people that is, for all, you're going to be on the sea for 7-8 days in Europe. You're doing a whole European cruise. Give the basis of what the cruise is about, if you would.
Well, what we really wanted is for any fans of a TV show to have an experience that's a little different than what the convention circuit is. And a lot of them were telling us that they just don't have time to visit the city. When they come on convention, it's real work. We are there, all of us are there from 7 o'clock in the morning waiting in line, etc., until late at night. And here we were thinking about we don't have enough opportunities coming from the United States to go and enjoy Europe and in the safe environment. That means having show excursions organized for you, not having to deal with customs, etc., etc. So why not mix the two and have a wonderful cruise done by Royal Caribbean on the second largest ship on the world, the best actually, honestly, Allure of the Sea, and at the same time have a wonderful fan convention.
It sounds absolutely amazing. I've done Royal Caribbean before, and I agree with you. It is absolutely the best cruise line out there by far.
It's very impressive. People are afraid of the water, and they're thinking that the rolling is going to be too much. And Isabel, what do you think? You've cruised a lot.
You feel nothing. You feel
Yes.
absolutely nothing.
That's because the Valium kicks in.
Yeah, there you go. And the vodka. And then
And
you
the
do it.
vodka. Exactly.
That's an interesting mix. You probably missed 5 out of the 7 days.
No, but honestly, the technology right now is incredible. This anti-rolling system is just
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, and the other thing that we thought would be good is that when we go on conventions, people always have to worry, what am I going to eat? Am I going to miss a workshop if I go eat? Especially if you go out of town, you don't know where to go. So that way, everybody is taken care of. They can eat when they want, where they want, how they want, for free. So we thought that was really the best option.
It is an absolute adventure on Royal Caribbean as far as eating is concerned, because you do have the 3 meals for sure. They still do the midnight buffet, which is beyond belief. It's like, places advertise 4th meal, not like this. This is an amazing thing. And then if you want to snack during the day, it's almost like they have concessions that are open, and you just go. You want a burger, you want a shake, anything like that, you just go get it.
So suffice it to say, a cruise is not the right time to do a flush or a cleanse.
No, and you have to know if you're going to be on a 7-day cruise, you're going to add 5 to 10 pounds.
Easily, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to make this cruise so unique? What do you have planned? What if somebody plans and saves for a cruise once a year? Why should they go on Comic-Con at sea?
Well, to be honest, we've really been able to work with Royal Caribbean into adding not only all the activities and the entertainment that Royal gives you, but every evening to have our convention. So you really get 2 for the price of 1 in a way. You visit the Europe during the day. You have a shore excursions in every port of call, and we have 6 or 7 ports of call.
Yeah, at least.
And then at night, from 4 or 5 o'clock at night until the end of the evening, you actually are doing a convention, and what we have planned for these guys are just going to be incredible.
Okay.
Great entertainment, I imagine.
We have concerts planned. We have CD releases planned. And then not only that, but we have cocktail parties with the stars. We have meet and greet with the stars. We have workshops. We have
the discussion panels. And those, there's 2 different types. We have both the individual discussion panels where you get to talk with one of the actors, and then we have a group one. So, for example, we'll get Battlestar Galactica, and Rick Worthy, Tamu Pennicott from the new ones, and Richard Hatch, of course, from the original and the new ones will, for example, sit together and discuss about what that experience feels like. So it's really, you get much more than what you think.
And so when Vegas Unwrapped goes out there to do the videos and the interviews and stuff like that, you're going to get us to Barcelona, right? No problem, no charge, right? for 9 of us, or is it 10? Or is it 10 now that I'm counting? We got to add the baby cat.
Yes,
baby
cat.
Yeah.
Bobby Kitty.
Bobby Kitty.
So,
baby cat,
so the
Bobby
cruise
Kitty.
originates out of Barcelona.
Yes, you have to fly all the way to Europe. So I know it's difficult for some people, but honestly, nowadays it's not that big
Not
of
if
a
you
deal.
stop in New York for a couple of days.
And we are negotiating some special rates for our attendees with the airlines. So that is going to be a great break as well.
And you can get all that information on their website at comicconatsea.com. And about 3/4 of the way down, you'll see a nice red box that says airfares. There's group options out there with Air France and KLM, as well as you can give the group code to your travel agent if you prefer to book individually and still get the discount. So check it out. And from what I saw here on the website, all that somebody has to do is reserve for $400 per person as a deposit, right?
Yes, it's actually very easy. It's just because we need to give something to Royal Caribbean to let them know we have a stateroom ready for you.
Right.
But once you've paid that, we have an installment plan. So it's, we're trying to get the payments to less than $500 a month to make sure that you can go in and enjoy the trip without too much of a strain on the family budget. but in all honesty, it's not that bad. Oftentimes when we go to convention, we pay the convention separately.
Right.
And then we have to deal on finding the hotel,
Right.
parking, and all these other fees. In this case, everything is taken care of at once. You absolutely have nothing else to
I
think of.
hear it's unbelievable flying from the U.S. to Europe in one of the, like an Air France or KLM. Hey, as long as you're not flying German wings, I'm there.
Shot another group.
There you go. You can send your email comments to VegasUnwrappedArtCast.
Artcash@gmail.com. You want to join the fan club?
Do that too. That too, exactly.
Pens, T-shirts, and all.
That's right. Now, if you go onto the website, you click on the guest tab at the top. I mean, you got everybody from James Marsters, Drew Roy, Elena Hoffman, Steve Cott, Richard Hatch, you mentioned before. Of course, we'll be hearing from him in about 5 minutes. Who else is coming on? Robert Hall. I mean, you got a whole slew of people that are going to be part of this cruise.
Yes, we have both professionals and actors from genre TV. Or how do you say? Yes, sci-fi TV, etc. And these are people that the fans know well and appreciate. And the pros behind the professionals are just, you may not know their name, but the things they've done, they're incredible.
And we have a lot of up-and-coming people, directors that are being touted as being the genius of their generation, and all those people. So you may not know their name now.
Right, but you will in the
know their
future.
name.
Okay, very good.
Caller about questions on the cruise.
Okay, caller, thank you for calling Vegas Unwrapped. What can we answer for you?
Well, actually, it's kind of a double-sided thing. I noticed by looking at the cruise layout and what is on the website that there's easy access and like plenty of space. I was wondering, is it pretty accessible even if you're saying like a hover round or kind of immobile like that, so that you don't have to stress out so much about getting around?
Well, the boat is large, yet actually quite small.
You have to catch the trolley from one end of the boat to the other's a taxi.
So mostly, yes, you have an elevators on both sides, and honestly, it's about always 5 to 6 minutes to your room. It cannot be more than 10 minutes away from elsewhere, whatever elsewhere is. So you will have access to everything is very centralized. So
we were actually just at a Comic-Con, and I'm one of those people that doesn't have very much mobility. So it wasn't an option actually to go back to the hotel unless you were done for the day, or by the time you got back and then went back, you're talking half hour one way. And it says here that your meals are included, so snacks or everything. You don't have to pay $20 for a hot dog and
all inclusive,
including the alcohol.
Inclusive.
So if you're less than 21, well, the worst part of it is that
unfortunately,
in Europe you have to be 18 to drink. So for those Americans that are 19 years old and can have a drink here, well, you can enjoy yourself in Europe.
And on an international water, you have to be 5.
And then I had basically a compliment, I guess.
Thank you.
There's so many people that don't know about the cruise, and I've noticed that there's been a lot more activity on the computer. So I was really kind of happy about that, because I was getting kind of nervous thinking I was the only one.
Well, you and Richard Hatch alone would have had a great cruise together.
Is Richard there?
No, he's not here yet. No, he'll be on the phone momentarily.
Well,
I was going to say, because he owes me a Battlestar Galactica coat picture.
Wow.
And a dance.
Wow.
Get it from him on the cruise.
Also offered skate. So,
okay.
Yeah, he, I'll have to call back when he's in. I can ask some fighter.
There you go. Thank you.
I've been a pretty big fan of his for a long time. And that was the other question. So basically, I can I can get around where I want, and everything's paid for. I don't have to deal basically with any of the other normal Comic-Cons. You have to pay for your, you have to pay for the photo op, and you stand in line. Then you kind of get the photo. You stand in line for the signature. You stand, you go stand. Then you go stand in another line if you want. Your some of the places will actually put them in sleeves.
Okay.
Others can laminate.
Let us answer quickly. You can have, for the people that feel like it, you can actually have scooters and wheelchair provided by Royal Caribbean on board, and you will be helped in and out for all the show excursions if you need it. As well, none of the activities are concurrent. So you're not going to be missing one thing because you're in line for another thing. Okay, so you can take care of all. So don't worry. Honestly, we'll take care of you at every step of the way. And if you want, thank you for noticing the activities on Facebook and Twitter. We'll talk a little more about this.
All right, thank you, caller, thank you, caller, for checking in. If you have any other questions, I'm sure through the website you can contact them. Have any other questions answered that you have?
Can I call back in 10 minutes so I can talk to some fighters?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now we have another call on behind you, so let me get to that call. When we have him on, if you want to call back in, then we'll have you call back in, okay?
Okay,
thank you, caller.
And thanks to whoever answered my question.
That was Pat. That was the main person herself.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I just want to do a quick reset. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped here on VegasAllNetRadio.com. I'm letting our sponsors know we're going through to the next segment. We're not going to take a break at this point because joining us now on the line, we're honored to have him with us here as part of our conversation tonight regarding the cruise. Actor, Comic-Con C participant, Battlestar Galactica alumni. We have his theme song playing. Please welcome to Vegas Unwrapped, Mr. Richard Hatch. How are you, Mr. Hatch?
I'm great. Great to be here.
I'm Aaron Phillips. My partner Ricky Cash is here. And, of course, Pat and Isabel are here. We thank you for taking a few minutes with us to talk about the cruise.
No worries. I'm all up for it. It's going to be, I think, probably one of the most exciting. I've done several cruises around the Caribbean. I've hosted them. This is probably, I think, the most ambitious cruise I've ever been part of. I mean, this European cruise has wonderful locations. It's got some incredible guests. They're going to do some incredible panels about the industry, the entertainment industry, how they make movies. Plus, they get to obviously hang out with all these various guests from all these wonderful shows. So it's going to be, and it's on one of the most amazing boats, probably in the fleet. So I'm really excited. This should be a lot of fun.
This is Ricky, Richard. Actually, I'm Richard, so Ricky and Richard. But I have to ask you one question regarding Battlestar, and, only because I was such a fan. You are absolutely the best character on the first show, all right? Starbuck, the whole thing. How did you become such a bad guy in the second show?
It's a song by a group.
Well, I mean, that's a long conversation, except that, see, I don't look at Tom Zarek as a bad guy. I look at Tom Zarek is the one true history that is always, as they say, history is written by the winner. Braveheart, William Wallace was the bad guy, according to English history. He challenged the government that was trying to suppress and basically, dominate Scotland. And the same thing went for me. I was fighting for democracy, for building consensus. And the government, after a post-apocalyptic, obviously we know about war with the Cylons, became a dictatorship. They didn't allow free elections. They rigged elections, and they didn't allow people to make up their own minds on very important decisions. So, my character, of course, was relegated to look like the bad guy, according to Adama and Roslin. But, Adama's son was the first one that said, even at the last show when they basically arrested me, he goes, if you get past arrogance, Zarek is right.
I love it. I love every second of it. I wish I could have recorded that.
Yeah. By the way, the Ron Moore told the writers to always put the truth in Zarek's mouth. And whether you wanted to hear it or not, You know, I always was telling it like it is, but, you know, people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear it the way that they feel comfortable. And, of course, as we know, governments, whether they're left or right, in post-apocalyptic times, they become dictatorial. People turn over their power, and then governments take on too much power. And, unfortunately, we've seen it happen over and over again. We got to see it on Battlestar Galactica. But anyway, that's a longer discussion, but I never saw him as a bad guy. I never played him as a bad guy. I love Tom Zarek, one of my favorite all-time characters.
Richard, because my partner asked you a question totally unrelated to the cruise, I want you to know that he's now fired and will be looking for a new job after the show is over. So
Actually, Richard,
I'm going with him because
By the way, they can ask me all those questions in detail on the cruise.
there you go. Exactly.
or we can have you back on Vegas Unwrapped.
That's true.
For a whole half-hour segment.
I would love to have you back on as a guest and we could talk about all that. But let me ask you a question about the cruise. What do you enjoy about the cruise and the interaction with the people? Why is it so much fun for you?
Well, you have to understand, you know, I don't know how many actors. It's become kind of a big thing. Race car drivers, rock and roll stars, they're hosting cruises. I've hosted several cruises myself, including going to Alaska. It's you know, it's an amazing experience to be on a boat for 7 days, have fans from all over the world and all over the country come join you. You get to hang out 24/7. You get to go on excursions. You get to hang out. I do my panels, seminars, but I hang out. We get to hang out, have a good time, get to know each other, and they get to kind of experience, I think, you know, to see a celebrity as they really are. And I have no problem doing that. I love people. I teach seminars all over the country. I love interacting with people. I love, you know, getting to know people. I'm one of the few people I know that I would read everybody's history because I'm fascinated by what makes people tick. Why are they the way they are? What kind of work do they do? So I love getting to know people all over the country, and that's what I get to do on a cruise. Obviously, when they come to a convention, most of the time, you get 5 minutes. You know, they smile, they say hello, you hug them, you sign a picture, and that's it. On a cruise, you really get to know people and get to hang out and kind of get some of that, what I want to call downtime, get realistic, real, grounded time with people that you admire. So this cruise, obviously, for me, is, I was thinking about a European cruise hosting myself, and then when Pat put this together with some really wonderful actors and entertainment production people, about it's not only a sci-fi convention, it's really an entertainment convention about how movies are made. And when she put this together and asked me to be part of it, I was really excited. I thought, wow, and not only are we going to Europe, but we're on probably the best boat in the fleet. We're going to amazing destinations, and we get to do panels on all kinds of, for me, my passion. I mean, I love filmmaking, television, acting, the world of art, and people get to see a glimpse into how we do it, how we make these movies, why we do it. I think it's going to be a really insightful, really entertaining journey, plus all the wonderful things you can do on a boat. I mean, on this ship, my God, you can zip line, you can surf, you can ice skate, and that's just on the ship. You got like 18 restaurants. I mean, there's nothing you can't do on this ship, even if you had no destination.
The price of admission,
wonderful destinations thrown in.
The price of admission for me alone. The price of admission for me alone would be to see my partner's zip line. You know, that would be the
zip line. But I got to tell you, zip lining, I can't imagine doing it at the top of this ship. I mean, that's got to be a little scary. And
while it's moving, no less.
Yes, it is moving.
But I'm going to do it. So say we all.
So say you all.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I like here, Mr. Cash, is that you have to be a personable individual to be in a scenario like this. And and obviously, having never met Richard Hatch in person, just listening to him and his desire to want to interact with the guests on the cruise, he's not your typical star that says, okay, stay away from me, I'm special.
No doubt about it.
So, Richard, I tip my cap to you because you sound like an extraordinary individual that cares about the people around, and you want to interact and get to know people. And I think that's what's going to make this event special, because the list of guests that are there all have to be the same way. They all have to be open to wanting to interact with the guests on the cruise.
Well, we'll get you on YouTube, and you'll look up Battlestar Galactica.
I know.
And you'll be able to see him. No, you'll be able to see
I
him.
watched the show, but I'm not going to talk about Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, but you said
when
you-
I got Pat here, when we do the show with him, well, geez, you're fired. Oh, my gosh. Richard, have you ever done radio before?
I had a radio show.
You do?
I did on the cable radio network. Imperial Palace was the advertiser, and came on at 12 at midnight, and it was all about relationships. She said, I did it with this wonderful, wonderful lady, and I did it for about a year and a half. We had guests from every area of life come on the show and talk about love, talk about what gets in the way of relationships. And by the way, you know, I'm a writer, I'm a director, I'm a teacher. I lecture at colleges and universities. I travel the country. I got to tell you, I love, whether it's a movie I'm in, producing, directing, I love to impact people, entertain them, and impact them, and maybe open their hearts, their minds, look at the larger picture, inspire them, because too many people feel lost in this world, are depressed in this world. So I love kind of helping people, and I do it one-on-one. I do life coaching. I do groups. I do all of this. Plus, I'm acting in a number of productions right now, plus this X-Nar thing, which is going to be the most groundbreaking indie truck film ever made. There's so many things I'm involved in, but I love, like I said, interacting with people. It's one of my passions. I love to see people kind of open up and realize the possibilities of life.
Well, Richard, here's I know your experience and it's well-rounded, but starting next Thursday night, I'm going to have an opening for a radio co-host. So I'm going to be looking for new talent to join me. So I just wanted to know if you might be available on Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m.
Well, I wonder how he could fire me when I'm I'm a third owner.
Oh, you're firing your partner there?
I'm firing my partner, yes.
I only know him 18 years.
Richard, thank you for taking time with us, and we greatly appreciate it. Comic-Con at the Sea. Get on that cruise, get on it, talk with Richard. You're going to have 7 days to talk Battlestar Galactica and anything that you want with him while you're in Europe on the water. Thank you again, and I do want to get in touch with you. We'd love to have you come back as a guest on Vegas Unwrapped and talk anything about my partner wants to talk about.
Richard, do you have a Facebook page?
I'm all up for it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Richard. Have a great night.
See you on the cruise, guys.
You bet.
Don't stay with all. All right, bye.
Richard Hatch, great actor, great guy. I mean, that was fun, and we can get in touch with him through Pat.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
We are waiting for one more caller, but it looks like we may be running out of time if Mr. Leary does or doesn't call in. We're kind of right up against it. So that was great. I mean, you know what? You've got to be accessible. You've got to be an accessible star to allow yourself to be on a cruise to interact with these people.
No question.
You got no place to go.
You got no place to go. They're overboard. You know. I think that's great.
They have casinos on the ship.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. Casino. They have. I mean, it's a floating city. That's really what cruise ships are. Comic-Con at ComicConAtSea.com is the website. Mark your deposit now, $400 per person. What else is going on the cruise before we wrap up?
Well, just to let you know, we have, of course, everything that the standard convention has, but we also have screenings of movies, independent movies geared toward geeks, because we actually associated ourselves with Geek Fest Film Festival, and they are going to provide us some really awesome nerd movies that everybody wants to see. We have this series of concerts with Steve Carlson, Ghost of the Robot, who's also singing with Lulu White, and we have something very unique. We have a jam session in which these 3 very different artists are going to actually be jamming together for our benefit. It's incredible.
It sounds great. Isabella, you going to be on the cruise?
You bet I am.
Oh, I'm there. I'm so there.
All right, now, what's the best way if people have questions regarding the cruise after the interview? Is it to get you through the website? Is that the best way? Or
the website, Facebook, and Twitter. We actually can answer. We prefer Facebook because it's much
quicker.
You have more time to ask questions than Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
40 characters is very hard.
That's very true.
And it goes too fast.
Okay. Okay, so we're good. All right, so Bobcat's taking care of stuff behind the board. All right, listen, we appreciate it. Guys, check it out. If you missed any information, please go to Facebook, Comic-Con at Sea. Please go to the website for further information. Also, to tonight's interview with Pat and Richard Hatch is going to be up on YouTube. We'll have that edited for you as well.
Yeah, they're going to take me out of it.
Man overboard! Ricky Cash overboard. All right, so are they clear? Board is cleared there,
Well,
Mr.
it's cleared, but I'm having a problem. Let's get to break.
All right, we don't have any guests on the line hanging.
No, we do not.
Okay. Pat and Isabel, thank you so much for coming on. We had a great time. I want an after cruise visit to see how things went with you.
And share the pictures.
And share the picture. Well, I expect them on Facebook, so I know Cash.
They will be, yeah.
I know Cash wants the bikini picture, so I mean I might as well just say it as is. And Pat and Isabel are still here. He has a video camera. All right,
I have to get these ladies both
tell the real reason. I'm going to right now.
No, the real
can be what?
We can be friends. Oh,
jeez. All right, during the break while we were taking pictures, we were waiting for another caller to call in, and now we have him on the line, Mr. James Leary, whose television credits include a 2-year stint as Clem, the loose-skinned demon on the critically acclaimed hit Buffy the Vampire Slayer, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. Joining us on the phone, who will also be joining everybody on the cruise, Mr. James Leary. James, how are you, sir? Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped.
Thank you very much, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're doing very well. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your schedule to join us tonight. So is this your first cruise you're participating in? Tell us about your cruising experience.
It is. This will be my third cruise. My second that is, sort of involved in some type of Comic-Con. I did a specific Buffy Whedon cruise way back in 2005.
Okay.
And
cool.
Before that, I just did a regular cruise all on my own before I had done any TV shows as a normal person. Back in like 1998.
He fit in good with this group.
Absolutely.
So nobody recognized you on that first cruise, so it was probably a pretty good time for you.
You know what? Nobody recognized me on the second cruise either.
Oh, my God. Well, they will this time.
That's right.
So what?
Hey, look, it doesn't suck going someplace where people think you're awesome.
There you go. So what drew your attention to this cruise that said, I want to be part of Pat's cruise?
Well, part of it was the amazing destinations. I've never done a cruise of the Mediterranean, and I've been to London and Paris and Ireland, but I've never been to any of those cities, and that was amazing. And then I actually got to talk with Pat on the phone, and I was like, this is a wonderful, lovely lady. I would love to be a part of this. There
you go. Well, we feel the same way, except she's paying for our cruise, though.
Well, wonderful.
She just passed out.
Yes, I did. Go ahead, Mr. Cash.
Well, it's exciting to just intermingle, I guess would be the best term, or mingle with, people in the industry, but, a little bit more broad than that. Tell us what you're looking forward to as far as meeting some of the other people.
Well, I've met a good deal of them before, but there's a lot of new people on this cruise that I haven't met. And here's the thing. Not only was I lucky enough to be a part of a sort of a cult hit show, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Battlestar Galactica, both the old and the new. A huge fan of Bitten and, just lots of other things. I'm a big sci-fi comic book nerd, so it's always fun for me to get to go to these things and meet people who I think are cool. I kind of geek out on people when I'm there, so I try not to nerd boy as much as everyone else.
Try not to nerd boy. I've never heard that. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Cash nerd boyed out with Richard Hatch before, so
right.
It was a mess. It was terrible.
I just lost it.
We had to hide the women and children around there, so it was nasty. So to someone who may be on the teetering brink of deciding to go on this cruise or not, what would you tell those people to have them join you guys on the cruise?
I would say, unlike the other cruise that I was a part of, there's going to be where there was interaction with the fans. We did, cocktail parties and all that kind of standard stuff. But this cruise is really going to have a lot of activities really tailored towards involving the guests in the stuff that we do. I know. Richard's going to be teaching an acting class. I may be doing an improv class or a screenwriting class. So there's going to be things that are very much about the industry that we can maybe help teach some other people that is going to be very inclusive for those coming on board. It's almost like, film or acting school on C.
Gotcha.
That's great.
So what's it like to voice a character by the name of Frogfather?
And it's very cool. It's awesome, as a matter of fact.
Oh, there you go.
I get to do another Marlon Brando, but I look like a really big frog.
There you go. The Frogfather. I like that.
You're a Frogfather. He's good.
Well, Frogfather. If you ever need some other voice actors, Cash and I are always available.
Absolutely. You know what? We always need voice actors.
All right. Let us know, man. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Pat, you want to say hi to your cruise guest?
Oh, yes. Thanks so much, James, for calling. It's such a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure. Sorry I was running late. I had to go make sure my door was
No,
locked.
don't worry.
Did you say your doors had to be locked? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, exactly. Sketchy neighborhood.
Where are you, in Las Vegas? No, only kidding.
Yeah, right. Well, I actually live in Austin, Texas now. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'd like my doors too.
Oh, Great. I'm sure we're living a great impression with James tonight.
Another group.
I would expect nothing less.
He just insulted another group. He just insulted a state. Are you kidding me? All right, James, we're up against the top of the hour break. We thank you so much for checking in. ComicCon@C.com. Check it out. Go get your what? How did he call it? A actors workshop on C, right?
That's great.
That's right.
I love it.
Come join us.
All right, thank you, James. We appreciate some time, man.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
care.
much. Bye-bye.
James Leary following Richard Hatch.
I'll tell you.
I have to say, in this first hour, we've been on the air 6 years and a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
We've had more phone activity tonight than we have in almost 6 years.
Bobcat, it looks like he's...
I know, he was typing over there. What he was doing over there.
That's great.
I know he was cursing out Ma Bell a few seconds ago.
I can tell you one thing. Come around May 1st, the Bobcat's getting a raise.
Yeah, we're going to get you a higher chair is what we're going to get you.
Yeah, at least a bigger chair.
That's right.
Bobcat, how'd you know?
We'll get him a stool. Yeah. Actually, we'll put it... Because he needs to go to the bathroom so much, we'll put his office in the bathroom, I think, would be good.
Not bad.
Actually, I would like to have a stool. That would be nice. Not these things.
No, okay.
A stool you can move around a little.
Guys, thank you for hanging out with us with James on the phone.
Thank you very much for being
We appreciate it. All right.
Not everybody gets 45 minutes.
No,
that's for sure.
Absolutely. Vegas Unwrapped, hour number 2. We know we're in trouble when hour number 2 starts off with Doing It with Styles.
That's even terrible.
So come back and join us for hour number 2 right after this. All right, welcome back. We're back. We are back from beyond. Vegas Unwrapped coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. VegasAllNetRadio.com. If you have to leave your computer, don't fret. Go to your Play Store on your phone, whether you have an Apple product or an Android. Go to the Play Store, download Vegas All Net Radio. Take us with you wherever you are. It's been a great first hour. I want to thank all of our guests in studio. I want to thank Richard Hatch, James Leary for calling in regarding the cruise, Comic-Con at Sea. Check it out. It's going to be a great, great cruise.
I really wish we could afford it. I mean, with all due respect,
we have so much
I don't know what the total cost is on that.
Well, but the flight alone, even to Europe,
is at least $1,200 to $1,300
per person.
About 18.
Yeah,
it's 18.
About
so
18
you're probably looking at about a $4,000 or $5,000 total. Transportation, I would think, for airfare and the cruise itself. I mean, depending upon where you sit in the cruise, I guess.
But it's worth it. And you can.
It'd be worth every penny of it.
And you can make payments.
Yeah, but if you had to make payments to have it all paid beforehand, that doesn't really give us much time. April, May.
Gives you about two, 3 months.
Busy. I'm gonna get paper.
When you asked the question to the second guy about, I don't know what it was. Something about. How would you recommend people?
What would you tell somebody who's sitting on the fence about going?
Oh, yeah. The first thing that came to me was rob a bank.
Don't try that at home.
Yeah, don't try that at home. We are not professionals.
Send your mail.
Right.
We do not. Especially after having an FBI agent here. Right. And you're telling people to go out and rob a bank?
She was so nice.
I hope she's left the building.
No, she was really so nice.
We'll have cars waiting for us down at the bottom of the stairs. So.
All right, we're going to flip around the schedule a little bit because of what's that? I got it. Okay. Because of James Leary calling in a little behind schedule, we're going to start off.
I don't mind.
But they don't know. if we, you know what I mean?
But they know at the top of the hour we do birthdays and celebrity, and dates in history.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, we got to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Boy, I
We're
told
always
my-
reinventing ourselves.
It's time for Doing It with Style.
You've either got or you haven't got style. If you got it, you stand out a mile. Either got or you haven't got class. How it draws the applause of the masses. You've either got or you haven't got. Got or you haven't got. Got or you haven't got style.
Why is your intro longer than your actual segment?
Because my segment's not very long, and I want to get my money's worth.
Gotcha. You have the background? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr. John.
All right. It's time for
Before you
Doing It with
start,
Style.
I got to ask Mr. Phillips here. Do you have our friend?
She has not responded, but that's okay. I'll make sure she listens to the podcast.
Okay, fair
Or
enough.
YouTube.
Okay.
Now,
Go for it.
My turn now?
Yes.
your
Okay,
turn.
thank you.
Partner.
This has been an exciting year, right?
Yes.
For a lot of people. A lot of people. Yesterday was April Fool's Day.
Yes, it was.
But it was also a very, very special day for one of our listeners.
One of our, if I recall correctly, one of our 2 listeners who got an award at the 6th year anniversary show.
Year-end show. Let John
Was it
finish.
the year-end show?
Yes, let John finish.
Damn.
Anyway.
Shut up.
If you're going to interrupt him, at least interrupt him with the right information.
All right,
Make
well, I
something
forgot.
relevant. Yeah,
I
Sing a
forgot.
song or something. Yeah. Anyway, this award, I think, is very deserved. We all struggle with a lot of different issues in our life, but we have one special listener that yesterday celebrated her 1-year anniversary of being clean
And sober.
and sober. And she posted this yesterday.
Let him finish,
Hey,
right?
but that's what it's,
Hey, we're a team, right?
I
He
like
took
Yeah.
a breath. He could have
All
said
right.
sober on the other side of the breath.
So, Brandy, if you haven't guessed already, tonight's Doing It with Styles Award goes to you. From the bottom of our hearts, you've done an awesome job. We are so proud of you. And you keep it up, and we'll give you another one next year.
No doubt about it.
That'll give you something to work towards, right? You can be the only one that has 2 Doing It with Styles awards.
You know, one of the people that encouraged Brandy throughout the past year was our dear friend Jimmy Bryant.
Yes.
And she has told me on many occasions that Jimmy was really so much responsible for her to stick to what it is that she was doing. And like most people who are trying to get rid of any type of addiction,
Bad habit.
They have very, they have ups and downs, and many of them, kind of fall off.
Yep.
But, with all the support that she's had from family and friends, she's always said to me that if it weren't for all of you guys at Vegas Unwrapped and all the friends she made in Las Vegas, that this would not be possible.
Absolutely.
We don't want to take any credit from you, Brandy, because you did it yourself.
And I was going to say that's just it. We can be here and be supportive and all that, but it still takes a lot, and that's an accomplishment.
Thank you for listening to Doing It with Style. Heard exclusively on Vegas Unwrapped.
All right, very good.
Very
Good
well
job.
done.
Well done.
Yep.
You know what? Since you started, and I've, obviously when we first started working together last summer, a year ago, whatever it was, I started following you Doing It with Style stuff on Facebook at that time. But this has been a really great addition to the show because I think every segment that you've done on this, you've nailed.
Oh, well, thank you.
who to give it to, and really,
It's not always easy either.
no, I know it's not.
There's a lot to choose from.
There's a lot to choose from.
I mean,
and-
heck, he had to give one to us.
I know, that was the first one, I know.
That must have been really hard.
Well, he was buttering us up for the future, I guess.
There you go.
But
Yeah, and look what it got me.
look what it got you. But yeah, no, it's a great segment, and I'm glad we added it. And to recognize individuals, their accomplishments or whatever they do for us in the community, I think definitely goes a long way for sure. So
And
good stuff.
I love the new intro, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Who was that? Who was the singing? Was
That
the-
was Frank Sinatra
and
Dean Martin
Dean Martin
in the movie
Right.
Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Right.
And
There you
I
go.
just I was watching that a couple of weeks ago and had forgotten all about it. And when they broke out into that, I thought, hey, I have a new intro.
There you go.
Nice
Thank you.
job.
All right, now we're going to segue to a few birthdays.
Is that one of those things that you ride on?
Yeah, exactly. The Paul Blarth Mall Cop segue. If you're celebrating a birthday today, April 2nd, we want to wish you a happy birthday from all of us here at Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio, and you're celebrating a birthday with these people! All right, we're only going to do a couple of them because today's list
Sucks.
is a full list of people that I have no clue who they are.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with the first one that I know, and it's TV actor Christopher Maloney,
SVU.
SVU.
Yes.
And he's been in a couple other things lately where he's really
Wasn't
been
he-
He's
good.
got a new
Oz?
series out, too.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a new, I can't remember, he's got a new series out.
Yep.
I miss him from SVU,
I
man.
do too.
I do, too. The gentleman is 58 years of age, sir.
Maybe we'll have him on the show, and you can talk to him about stuff totally off the subject of what we're talking about next time or something.
What are you looking at me for?
55.
I was behind the camera. I didn't.
What number did you say?
I said 58.
58, 55.
53.
54, however, would be the correct answer.
I think you do that on purpose. You know
Not-
that?
not me.
I'm going to start looking this stuff up because
No,
it's
don't.
always in
Don't.
between. It's
That
always
could-
in between what
It's
we
not
get.
my fault you guys are all over the place.
That caused a rift. And a shake. And a shake.
Actor Clark Gregg.
Ooh.
Do you know who he is, Mr.
Oh,
Cow?
hell yes.
All right.
No,
You don't know who he is?
not that by name.
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes,
He's
he
Agent
played-
Colton.
Agent Colton, that's
Yeah.
correct.
I haven't the faintest idea, but I'll say 39.
I think he's a little older. I'd say he's about 49.
47.
How about 53, gentlemen?
No kidding.
Wait, I younged him up, man.
Yes, you did.
He also played the ex-husband on Christine, the older Christine, or what was it?
Oh, the
With
two-
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
God, she is
old-
so hot, man.
Old Christine.
Old Christine, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Country singer Emmylou Harris is turning how old?
He's way up there, right,
Telling
guys?
you, man, Emmy Lou and Loretta, man. I'm telling you.
67.
Oh no, man. Emmy Lou's about 71.
I'll say 72.
68, though, would be the right answer. Movie actress Rosalind Sanchez.
What has she been
She
in?
played Jackie Chan's love interest in Rush Hour 2.
Oh, yeah.
Her performance in the film earned her an Alma Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture.
Nice.
And she's been featured in Maxim magazine, so that should tell you as
51.
well.
She's 43.
I'll say 45.
42, though, would be the right answer. Actress Linda Hunt is turning how old?
Oh, Linda.
My God!
I love
My God!
I love Linda Hunt.
Do you know who she is? Because you looked a little quizzical.
Yeah, I can't.
She plays Hetty on LA, NCIS
Oh,
LA.
I don't watch any of that crap.
Okay. She's about 3'2".
But she's as tough as nails.
Oh, yeah. I know who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was in Dune.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in Dune.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dune the movie?
Yeah.
Dune, the
Oh,
movie, the
great.
original
Yeah.
one.
The Spice.
Yes.
With the Spice.
I love that
That's
movie.
a great
the
flick.
Little, yeah.
Uh,
Shattered Tapes. Yes, I know who she was. Yes.
63.
Patrick Stewart was in that too.
Yes, he
Uh,
was.
I heard a
With a
63.
ponytail.
I'm going to say 65.
67.
I got a 63, a 65,
And a 67.
and a 67, but unfortunately she's turning 70, fellas.
No kidding.
Darn, man.
Wow. Good for her.
All right, here's some
I
bonus.
know somebody else who's turning 70.
Today?
No.
No. You got 2 weeks before we have to
Not
announce
2
your
weeks,
birthday.
A week and a half.
If you make it till then.
I'm going to kill him.
You may be unemployed by then.
I'm going to kill him.
You know, I sit back today and I told my daughter, this is just wonderful radio. She's just got to be. Oh God,
Mr. Hatch, if you're listening, there might be an opening.
Might be an opening in 5 minutes for you, Mr. Hatch. No, I'll give you an extra bonus point if you can tell me what year Buddy Ebsen died.
Buddy Ebsen.
Because he'd been celebrating a birthday today, but he doesn't celebrate anymore.
Davey.
So I'll give you a point if you tell me when he died.
Buddy Ebsen.
Yes.
Buddy was 92 years old and he died in 2002.
I'm going to say 2001.
1994.
See, the problem with when you think I'm doing this purposely with the ages, when you guys start grouping your ages, you all tend to go the wrong flipping way. Because if you had answered 2003, when he said 2002 and went up, we would have had the right answer. I'll give you another chance. Sir Alec Guinness, when did he die?
Ooh.
One of the great British actors.
Yes, he was.
Crossover star.
God.
2005.
No.
2005 is one answer?
1994.
94?
I didn't think he made it past 97, but...
Okay, and of course now in this age, you guys just blew my theory out of the water because he died in 2000.
No, okay.
All right, let's see if I have any more in this group that I can give you here that you would know. You see.
The slate is blank.
The slate is blank. All right, how about...
Wouldn't it be interesting if we put him on the other side of this?
You'll never do it.
You want me to get up out of the chair? I can put him right behind you.
No, that's all right. It's all right.
I hate to say it, but there really isn't anybody
Mercifully?
else. So mercifully. That does it for celebrity birthdays today. Yes, what?
You're missing one extremely important birthday today.
Who's that?
Marvin Gaye.
That's his birthday today?
Yeah.
Well, Rodney King. All right, Rodney King would have had a birthday today. Tell me what year he died.
He didn't die.
I thought he was still alive.
He sure is.
No, he didn't. He passed away, young man.
Rodney King?
Rodney King.
2 years ago.
What did they do? Beat him up again?
Wait, 2013.
What the hell is going on there?
Oh,
You know, I can't trust anybody in L.A. anymore.
oh God.
Kicked his ass the first time.
2013. No, I'm sorry, 2012.
Oh, my God.
Wait, 2011.
How about 2010?
How about 2012, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, and how old was he?
He was, hold on.
2012.
From 1965 to 2002, whatever that is, 47? He was
No.
47 when he died. Yes.
No,
he looked pretty
would
beat
be-
up when he
that,
went, too.
That sure wouldn't be 40.
Yes, it is.
Not of 65.
I'm 50 and was born 3 years earlier. 47 and 50, there's a difference of 3.
65 to 2000 is only 35 years.
I didn't say 2000. I said 2012.
Oh. So, all right. So I killed him off earlier. I killed him off the first time they should have. Never mind.
Oh. All right. Time for a couple of dates in history before we totally lose control. Not that we ever had control.
What was I thinking?
You weren't. That was the problem. All right, Mr. Cash. What year did Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon and his expedition land in what is now present-day Florida? What year?
1503.
What was he looking for?
The Fountain of Youth.
What did he find?
Florida.
Fort Lauderdale.
to be more specific, St. Augustine.
What year did you say?
1503.
How about 1513 was the right answer?
Wow.
Not bad, Mr. Cash.
Yeah.
You know, I got to give you a lot of credit. I mean, even being in the same decade, that's pretty awesome.
It's because he was there covering it. That's why.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
He was serving the food on the boat. Are you kidding me?
That food was shit.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good thing the cruises have upgraded their food, huh?
Much better at Royal Caribbean.
It was nothing like Columbus, right?
No.
No.
Hey.
What year did Congress pass the Coinage Act, which authorized the establishment of the U.S. Mint? Boom, boom. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Brandy, as I know she is listening at this moment.
Oh, good.
She's retiring for the evening and taking us all to bed with her.
1789.
1792. Close.
Yeah.
What year did Beethoven premiere his Symphony No. 1 in C Major Op. 21 in Vienna? I don't know what the hell I just said. I think I called a bingo game or something just there.
That's an easy one.
1825.
1800.
Oh, that early?
Yeah. What year did President Woodrow Wilson ask Congress to declare war against Germany, saying the world must be made safe
For
democracy?
That would be 1917.
Right on the button, Mr. Cash. The same year, what international service organization was founded in Detroit, Michigan?
Kiwanis International.
Very good. Give him 2 points for that. That buys him a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Do I get to keep my frickin' job?
I'll think about it.
Get one more right.
That's
if
right.
you get one more
All
right,
or nothing right now.
Lois,
do you want to go on or do you want to take your winnings and leave?
Lois, I should have stayed in Charlotte.
Oh, my goodness. What year did Glenn Miller and his orchestra record American Patrol at the RCA Victor Studios in Hollywood?
Glenn Miller. I'm going to say 1962.
You're going to say when?
1962?
1943.
How about 1942?
Okay, that's very good.
And last but not least,
It was during the war.
Yeah, that's
and
what
he
it
was.
says.
You know.
last but not least, what year Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey had its world premiere in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, holy crap! Hang on.
I'm not on the phone. I can't hang on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
You really came up with Bobby Kitty for your daughter. Do you realize that?
Got it, yeah.
God help us.
19. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
1966.
It's either 66 or 67 because I hang on. No. 1968. 1968.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Gonna lock it in.
Yes.
All or nothing.
All or nothing.
1968 is the correct answer. Mercifully, that does it.
Because I was just back from Vietnam.
Right.
I went and dropped
For
acid and
dates in
saw it.
history.
Really? Shoot. I never had it.
There you go. What, 2001?
No acid.
Oh.
The second hour is all underway. You're listening to Phillips and Cash. Vegas Unwrapped from the Vegas AllNet Radio Studios, live in Vegas.
This goes out to Brandy, who's in bed with us right now.
Maybe.
I told you I was a bad dude back then.
I don't know where anything else is going to go, ladies and gentlemen. Just sit back and relax. We're back after the commercial break.
All right. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Final Four shirt.
I see that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, man, I better get me a sports report together here.
Yeah. Before we get into talking about last weekend, I did promise us, I put out there early in the week a GoFundMe campaign because we're trying to do something here at the studio that we can't let out of the bag just yet, but there's enough of it. If you go read GoFundMe.com/radio studio, all the details of what we have in mind is actually in there. So as part of it, I created 4 levels of potential contribution.
Yep.
And I promised that for the 25 level contribution, everybody would get a shout out on the subsequent show. So here goes. I'm not going to mention dollar. I think I already did, but you can check it out. Want to thank Fania Wheeler for contributing.
That's great.
Yep. Want to thank this guy, John Stiles. I don't know why he contributed. Jill Branson.
Because I believe.
Want to thank Denise Michaels. Want to thank Dennis Sakala. And we did get a larger donation for the first reward, which comes with 5 minutes on Vegas Unwrapped, and I've got that scheduled. I put it on the calendar today. Our good friend Dee Innes from Life Shots contributed to our cause. So Dee will be joining us, I think, the 23rd, talking about a new product that Life Shots has put out regarding dental hygiene. So
cool.
Good stuff. So Dee will be joining us. We want to thank everybody. But if you're listening for the first time, go check out GoFundMe.com/radio studio. And while you're on GoFundMe, you might as well go check out the Ricky Cash Fan Club because of the support of and this will be the segue into this weekend.
Gotcha.
Because of the support of the Ricky Cash Fan Club, we were able to make a nice contribution to Honor Flight Southern Nevada, which we had their pancake breakfast. We made a $250 donation to their cause this past Saturday, and we could have done that without the Ricky Cash Fan Club. So please keep contributing to that. Please become a member. One time a year, $10, $20, or $30. You get everything from T-shirts, signed pictures from Ricky, buttons, show tickets, depending upon your level of membership. And that money continues to support our efforts in supporting the community. So please check out GoFundMe.com/Ricky Fan Club while you're on GoFundMe. We have the 2 campaigns going on right now.
We will be making another check out in the amount of, I don't know, to
to be determined.
To be determined
TBD.
to the Relay for Life, Henderson Division, that supports the American Cancer Society. Aaron and I will be hosting the event. We'll have more on that, I think, in the next week or two.
What's the date of that again for our listening audience?
I believe it's the 18th.
That's correct. No, the 18th is Relay for Life.
What's the 16th
That's
again?
our remote show on Thursday night. We're doing at a networking event. We're doing a remote show
That's
on the
right.
16th. Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't hear anything about this.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, we're going to Skype in and do that one.
Yeah.
So, all of the stuff we're doing
Nobody
lends
tells
me to
nothing.
think that Vegas Unwrapped is moving in a very, very strong direction to have some real good stuff going on. Details to follow.
I am so excited, I swear to God, it takes all of my willpower not to pee my pants.
Oh, Jesus.
Another Democrat.
Well, you know what?
That's right, the depends
That,
category.
that depends.
It's going to be one of our
which-
sponsors. It depends on who we get for our sponsors, right?
What supporters.
What a pisser. Anyway, yeah, so...
Now you're digressing.
I've digressed since we went on the air at 5 minutes after 7, since we were introduced to Bobby Kitty.
I noticed.
So talk about Saturday. What did we do Saturday?
Well, Saturday we attended for the third time the honor flight of Southern Nevada's Pancake Breakfast, which is designed to raise money to send World War II vets who've never been to Washington to go see the monuments and memorials that are out there, and to give them a weekend to share their pride and their experiences with other veterans. Now, keep in mind, World War II ended in 1945. That's very close to 70 years ago. So, and some of these guys, it was amazing in the interviews. We asked how old were they when they joined, and some of them said as early as 15 and a half.
Yeah.
So, most of these guys are definitely deep into their 80s. And some of them spry chickens. They're sharp in the
But they
mind.
were great to talk to. A lot of fun to talk to.
It was some of the best. When I left there, I had such a warm feeling, not because of the pancakes, but I had such a warm feeling of talking to these guys. And again, they hear it all the time. Thank you for your service, this, that, and the other thing. But they are genuinely moved when we talk about them and, give them the support and accolades that they deserve. There's no question about it.
The videos have been uploaded successfully to our YouTube channel.
And that is what?
That is youtube.com/Unwrapped 2010. But I want to encourage you to go to our website, which is
VegasUnwrapped.net.
which all the links to all of our social media can be found there as well. I do have to upload the newer videos to the website, but they are all available on our YouTube link. We have almost 300 videos. I go in and I clean out old videos that maybe have only gotten a handful of listeners. So we're still hovering right around 300 videos, but still our number one video on there is Brian Hoffman doing
Pledge of Allegiance.
the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the mobster sit-down we
show.
did.
Yeah.
So
Tremendous
good stuff. But anyway, all right, so that was a lot of fun. The next Honor Flight Breakfast is going to be held in September. Belinda gave us the month. We just don't know the date yet, and perhaps by that point, all of VANR, except those shows that will be on, will make a grandstand appearance since it's right around the corner.
That would be awesome. That was just awesome.
Try to get as
awesome
many
experience.
of the show hosts
Out
as
there.
we can
Absolutely.
to go out there and mingle with these people. And I'll tell you what, when you do, you walk away from that feeling you've got to, as part of the next generation, you've got to keep this story alive in terms of what they contributed to keeping America safe.
Hey, we're here right now because of those guys.
There's no question about it. And
we would not be here.
History does not know how close both the Germans and the Japanese, actually landed on American soil. The Coast Guard stopped a submarine 100 yards off the Long Island coast. Nobody knows that. We learned that Saturday. Plus in the Pacific, they were right in San Diego's harbor, for crying out loud.
That's right.
So I got to tell you something. We owe those people a debt that, of course, it never can be repaid, but it must always be remembered.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. I agree.
All right, before we go to break, I do have a piece of sad news to share with you guys.
I know what you're going to say.
You do?
Yep. Go for it.
News out of Jacksonville, Oregon. Gary Dahl. Do you know who Gary Dahl is? No,
sir.
The inventor of the pet rock.
Oh, yes, I heard that
A
today.
short-lived
What a
craze in the
bummer.
U.S. in the 1970s has died. He died at the age of 78. Dahl was born in Bottineau, North Dakota, and lived in Jacksonville, Oregon. Died of chronic obstruction pulmonary disease on March 23rd. He's a copywriter by trade. Came up with the idea of the pet rock. You listening?
Mm-hmm.
While sitting with friends in a saloon discussing the trials of caring for pets, according to his wife of 40 years. He ran with the idea of packaging a single smooth rock in a small box, selling more than 1 million rocks for $4 each in the mid-'70s. Long live the pet rock.
Well, I remember it.
Big time.
Yeah.
People were really...
I'm not going to admit that
They're into that thing,
People really were into it.
The rocks and the rings. Remember the mood rings? The rocks and the mood rings.
I had at least 3 mood rings, you know, and it was funny because it turns
multiple personalities, right?
Well, it turned black when you were upset,
right?
And it sure did. I used to walk around and, what the hell, you know?
The thing is, you bought a black onyx. You just didn't know it.
I wish I had.
All right, so
probably all them little savages that you used to teach school with.
They colored it in when you weren't looking. All right, Vegas Unwrapped will be coming up. More on the other side of the break. We'll be right back. An out-of-body experience for Bobcat as we come back. All right,
I've been out of body all night long.
Before we learn about Mr. Cash coming out of the closet and having a cleanse, let's move it over to the Vegas Unwrapped Sports Desk with Bob.
What a transition that was right there. All right, good evening, everybody. The Cat here behind the board for the NBA. Let's get to it. Right in the middle of the first half, Phoenix over Golden State right now, 39-28. Earlier today, LeBron and the Cavaliers over Miami, 114-88. Final right now, Houston and Dallas, 108-101. All right? Let me see. I want to get to some finals here, because Mr. Cash, I know you're the baseball fan. I never understood this. Today, the final draw for the New York Mets against St. Louis, there's no score.
Because they played them yesterday.
Well, today's board. I mean, you know.
Today they're on the trip to Texas. They'll play 2 exhibition games against the Rangers, and then they will fly to Washington for the opener on Monday.
All righty, Mr. Phillips, you're not going to be happy because Detroit passed New York 3-2 on that. And let me see what else.
How about the NIT final?
I have not even got to that there. I'm waiting to see if Kentucky's just going to totally roll. But hey, you want to know something about cheating in NASCAR? NASCAR ain't putting up with it, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because if you start mucking around with the wheels and the tires, it's going to cost you about $250,000 in fines. It's going to cost Ryan Newman 75 driver points, and it's going to cost Richard Childress 50 owner points because they monkeyed with the tires.
They made them a little, it's Deflategate.
It was Deflategate all over again, but NASCAR is not putting up with this because the fines have been leveled. Now, of course, Childress and the group are going to appeal the suspension and everything else. I don't think this is going to work at all. NASCAR has put the line down. There ain't no cheating. If you get caught, X-nay right there. And the big thing about this, boys and girls, Ryan Newman's 75 driver's points is a tough pill to swallow right there.
That's amazing.
There you go. That's just good sports, guys.
Thank you, Bobcat. All right, Mr. Cash.
All right. Well, since we are talking sports, let's do the coming out of the closet, and I'll turn that over to you.
So, thanks. So, I'm a wrestling geek, as we all found out when Bob Backlund was here. And Mr. Cash really never followed wrestling. Well, Wrestling Now has a network that you can join through their website for $9.99 a month, and you get all these special shows and clips and everything. But more importantly, for the same low rate of $9.99 a month, you get all their pay-per-views, which they have once a month. Now, the biggest pay-per-view of the year, which is basically their Super Bowl of pay-per-views, is WrestleMania. This was WrestleMania 31 that just passed this past weekend. They set a new attendance record for Levi Stadium, which is where it was just held up in California, with about 24 people short of 77,000 attendees inside the stadium. So his friend, President Ted, the guy behind the Ricky Cash fan club, is also a wrestling geek like I am, and he and I are splitting the cost of this $9.99. Well, the downside for Mr. Cash is my TV at my house does not have the HDMI cable connection for my laptop because you can only access it through
internet.
Yeah. He's got a nice 60-incher TV, that is.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified
with the
that.
HDMI cable connection. So last month and WrestleMania last week, I had no choice but to hijack his TV for Teddy and I to watch this. I give my partner credit because here's a guy who really never got into the wrestling shtick, but who made an appearance at WrestleMania, by the way. Mr. Cash joined Teddy and I for 4 hours of WrestleMania. And your thoughts?
Are you sure he wasn't just passed out?
No, he wasn't. He was sitting upright. Eyes were open.
I asked a lot of questions.
Oh, okay.
And I saw a lot of stuff that was as entertaining as anything I've ever watched. I absolutely loved it. Because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's so,
that's why they call it the soap opera for guys.
And all these people that, want to criticize it, it's not real, it's not this, it's not that. I saw a guy pick up another guy and throw him out of the ring. Must have been at least 15 feet high, and he landed on a ladder and broke it in half.
That was Luke Harper super bombing Dean Ambrose over the top rope during a ladder match, and just split the ladder in half.
It was unbelievable. And so, every Monday night on the USA Network, it's Raw. It's
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. And so, sure enough, Teddy.
Time to play the game.
And Teddy's been recording it since he's moved in, and I've never paid any attention to it. But after watching WrestleMania Sunday night, Raw is on Monday night, and Tuesday
SmackDown.
I was watching everything.
That's right. Well, the Monday after WrestleMania, the Monday Night Raw TV show, is considered the post-WrestleMania equivalent of I don't know how to describe it, but it's like when they tie up all the storylines.
Right.
After WrestleMania.
Yeah. Now, Brock Lesnar, who former MMA and certainly a wrestler before that, college champion, and a beast, absolute beast, was definitely on his way to take the title.
To retain the title, actually.
Retain the title, that's right.
Right.
And he had Roman Reigns.
He was wrestling Roman Reigns.
And he did like 15 body, whatever the
10 suplexes,
and the guy looked like he would never get up again. And this other guy,
Seth Rollins, the Money in the Bank winner,
which I knew nothing about, was able to come into the fight. Lesnar was pretty beat up too. He was bloody all over the place, and that you can't make up blood. And
actually, you can. There's a theory behind what happened that night. I'll share that with you in a minute.
He jumped up on Roman Reigns and pinned him in no time at all, and walked away with the championship. It was absolutely cool. So the next night on Raw, Brock Lesnar comes out and he's going to fight
Ralph Nader.
No,
Seth Rollins.
He's going to fight Seth Rollins.
He was invoking his rematch clause.
Yeah, and of course Seth Rollins wanted no part of it. He ran away from the ring. And after that happened, Brock Lesnar went berserk. And I'll tell you what, it was like he threw everybody that was sitting close to the ring. He threw them all, literally. Picked them up and threw them away, and they suspended him for it indefinitely. And it's another storyline, of course, but really fun. John Cena, who I know from the movies, the Marine is one that comes to mind. he won the U.S. championship over the Russian Rusev, who had never been beaten.
Never remembered his name.
Oh yeah, never been beaten, and he put out. And I didn't realize. I was surprised, Aaron. You might help me on this. Why he was booed at Raw. I thought he was a hero.
He is. But he's kind of one of those stars that because
arrogant bastard.
Because no, he's not.
No,
but he's too. What really happened 2-3 years ago? Rock had come back,
right?
And Rock was all over him for being too goody two shoes. Okay, and so the Rock sort of painted this picture of him being Fruity Pebbles and just all over him, wearing purple like Barney, and just really downplayed his abilities. So the crowd gets into getting on John that he, they boo him and they go back and forth. He's polarizing. That's the word that they use. But he is a baby face, as it's called in the industry, and he's just one of those guys. And he plays off of it. He comes out and respects. He says, look, you guys pay your money. You want to boo me, you could boo me. You want to cheer for me, you can cheer for me. But I'm going to do what's right for me and what's right for. And he'll never become a bad guy because he does too much for Make-A-Wish Foundation and all that stuff. He can never become a heel, even though there's been talk about it over the last couple of years.
He put out a challenge to anybody out there to come, try to take his title away, and everybody thought Rusev was going to come back, right? But he didn't. Some other guy,
Dean Ambrose,
who is a former lunatic, still lunatic, but a former
U.S.
champion himself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he comes in the ring, and I'm telling you, the beating that they put on each other was, I'm telling you, I don't know how these guys, and then it struck me, Raw was Monday night, WrestleMania was Sunday night, and all the guys that got beat to hell.
And Dean Ambrose was the guy who got jackknifed through that ladder that we were talking about.
And I'm thinking to myself, then they come back the next night and they're going to fight all over again?
Wait, and then on Tuesday, they actually pre-taped for SmackDown, which airs on Thursdays. So they wrestled 3 nights in a row.
I'm telling you, and these guys are built like, oh my God, I wish I had.
And if you check the schedule, you see the 3 nights in a row, then there's a day lag, and then they got what they call the dark curtain shows that they do, which doesn't have all the fancy lighting and the pyrotechnic.
Like when Teddy and I went to the Thomas and Mack.
I'm definitely going to be a fan. I will watch Raw every week, and I'm glad I've been exposed to this.
Vince McMahon's theme song.
Just really glad. And if you're not a fan, you're missing out on a really, really good time.
Well, back in January, my dad, myself, President Ted, and my wife Robin, we got tickets to go.
And you remember I didn't want to go?
He didn't want to go. Because I'm not into it. You guys go have a good time. I just knew it was just going to be a matter of time. Now, again, the local shows, the dark shows, the local events don't have the same fanfare that Raw does or SmackDown, but seeing it live is so different than watching it on TV, because on TV they can make up for the miscues that you can eyeball and see in the ring.
Right.
When they miss a drop kick, when they, because obviously in a lot of these moves they're not really hitting them, but you can play it off on TV, because if you watch it on TV, you notice a lot of camera shaking, you notice a lot of things going on to mask and enhance what's going on in the ring.
Right.
You don't get that at a live event, but at a live event the energy is so different than when you're watching it on TV. And now they usually come back to Vegas January and August, so they'll probably be back in August sometime. Cool. And we'll probably get some tickets. President Ted and I have a bucket list. We want to be on the first row, right up against the guardrail one time, just to experience.
You might get hurt.
That's all right.
They'll throw a guy into you.
Good. Let him come into the crowd. I'll catch him.
Yeah. And he probably could.
So anyway, yes, sir, Bobcat.
It's amazing what these people go through, and I've actually got a chance to work with the WWE back in Kansas City a couple of times, and 362 days, or no, wait, was it 312 out of 362 days these guys are out on the road touring and doing this, and it's unbelievable. We're going to get the you guys had your special guest. We're going to get the Big Daddy Paul Eubanks on here and let him talk a little behind the scenes of actually how this goes on. And it's sad because there is no insurance for these guys. There's no retirement. So if you hit, such as the John Cena, the Triple H, the Rock, or whatever, and you get in, now they've got the motion pictures and the action stuff and everything else. But back in that day, you hit your money and hope that you put it up, because if you didn't,
I must admit, when you first said about Eubanks that you were going to have him on the show, and I said, "Oh no, I got to go through another wrestling thing." Now I can't wait.
Oh, great guy!
I can't wait because it's really exciting.
It is something else.
That was that. That's the out of the closet. Do I have time?
Go through our last break.
Okay.
We're not going to stop for it.
Do I have time then?
Yeah, we have plenty.
Okay, so the other thing, as you guys know, because I started it last Thursday, was my cleanse. And the reason why I did it, well, primarily I had to do it because I had to lose at least 25 pounds by April 22nd in order to qualify to get my knee surgery under the Medicare new laws. So the cleanse is really very interesting. You have to drink salt water in the morning. That flushes your system. And then during the day, you have to just drink the lemonade drink, and you can get through without eating, and you don't get hungry, and it's tremendous. Well, I've had some ups and downs with it. Water too salty.
Right.
Too much cayenne pepper in the drink. But now we've got it pretty much under control, except for a thing that I didn't expect, and that was my blood sugar to drop, being diabetic.
Right.
It's bad enough when it's high, right? But if it gets really low, as Mr. Phillips will attest to, it can knock you out just like too much sugar.
Absolutely.
And so what I had to do, and I'll admit this, what I had to do was, and I don't really call it breaking the fast, but I did have to have like an orange or a banana or something like that. And with that happening and watching the weight every day, I started at 261, and as of this morning, I'm 247. So in 8 days, I have dropped 14 pounds. And, thank you very much, and I joined the gym.
Uh-oh.
Joined the gym.
You did it without me.
Well,
some fair weather friend he is, huh?
Getting ready to slam this in your face.
No, I've already done that, and he gave me a hard time. Anyway, so here it is. Would you put that up on the camera there, Mr. JPEG?
Yeah.
And it's the Las Vegas, and I'll give him a shout out. Las Vegas Athletic Club. I'm doing right now 2 days a week of aquatics. It's almost like it's
water aerobics.
Yeah,
basically.
water aerobics.
I like that.
Well, it's not bad. Some people call it similar to Zumba, but it's not quite as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not quite as fast. So I'm doing that. I'm going to do a regular little exercise on Saturday afternoon. I'm hoping I can get Mr. Phillips to join me. Listen, we said at the beginning of the year that, if we want to do what we want to do in 2015, and you know what I'm talking about, we said we have to put ourselves in the best position health-wise to be able to maintain that. I'm doing my part, Aaron's doing his part, and so it's my hope that I'll be able to go and get these knees done and, then move on from there. And I really want to thank Kim, or Cammie as I call her, for all her support in this, because she knows when I see those Burger King commercials or those Taco Bell commercials and my mouth starts to water, my eyes start to tear, she's really helpful.
Okay, very cool.
Thank you.
Well, you'll stay on it, and of course, so we're gonna bail out on that last segment. We'll just go right to the top.
All right.
So here's the thing with you doing all the cleanse. We were actually talking about this yesterday. This weekend is holiday weekend for those celebrating Easter, and of course, like you and I, we're going to be celebrating Passover. Friday night and Saturday night's the two big Seders. How are you going to cope with big Seders when you've got to watch yourself?
Well, I've in studying this cleanse, I've noticed that after 3 or 4 days, when you really don't have anything in your system anymore to flush out, if you just drink your drinks, you don't have to do that salt water every day.
Mm-hmm.
So on the flip side of that, I said to myself, well, if I'm going to eat a little bit, or in Passover maybe a lot, right? Just do the salt water the next morning and flush it all out. So that's my plan.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
I hope so.
Well, tomorrow I'll be shaking it.
I'm proud of you.
Tomorrow I'll be shaking it all
man.
day, getting ready for Seder number 1. And then I'll be shaking all day Saturday, getting ready for Seder number 2, which Saturday night we'll talk about on next week's show, because it's going to be a unique Seder, as I will be overseeing a Seder with mostly people who are not Jewish, educating them on what Passover is all about. So it should be fun.
Should be fun.
Absolutely. All right, I want to thank all of our guests, Pat Stissi from Comic-Con at Sea, and her associate Isabel.
Oh, Isabel.
Of course, Richard Hatch. And we want to thank James Leary for calling in, talking about that. I want to thank Doing It With Styles, JPEG, Randy. We love you out here, and catch it on the flip side on podcast. And we want to thank everybody for listening.
Yeah, it was probably one of the, we never criticize ourselves too badly.
This is one of the few shows that I've listened to the whole show.
This was a good one.
All right. Thank you, Bobcat, for doing your thing, folks. Next week.
You know who else?
Who?
Mrs. Bobcat and
Mrs. Bobcat and Bobby Kitty.
Bobby Kitty was
looking forward to more on that.
We had
story.
more call-ins tonight than in the last year.
And we got a little music from music guest Ghost of the Robot. It's called Hello to send us home with.
More on them coming up in the weeks. All right, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.